So after a whole KA fiasco, I figured it'd be nice to focus on another build for a few days to get refreshed, getting back to Nasanda. So if you guys remember a month ago, we dived into the E36 project where I got a turbo S50, a turbo M3 drivetrain for my E36, and all we have to do is paint the engine bay to get it in there. Well, to do this stuff right, it takes a lot more work and a lot more money than you'd expect. So we kind of had a hurdle where we weren't able to find a spot for me to actually paint this because I can't paint it in this facility. Luckily, Brian and his shop mates actually were able to clean a spot for me at their shop, and they threw together a makeshift paint booth, and now we can get this thing painted like very shortly, which is really exciting. So Brian had the very smart idea of actually painting the wheel wells before we even touch the engine bay, just to make sure we don't damage the paint in the engine bay and not have to worry about overspray. So if you look in here, it's pretty gross. It's so much road grime. We have all this bare metal from all the holes that we welded shut in the engine bay, and then we have exposed metal from the wheel rubbing and all this nasty stuff. We're gonna have to clean this whole thing up, take care of the bare metal, prime it, seam seal it, underbody, boom. Gonna look gorgeous by the end of the day, and I'm pretty excited. So we got a lot of work ahead of us. First thing we gotta do, drop the whole front suspension, subframe and all, so let's get to it. Nice work, guys. Good timing, huh?
Thanks for hurting my back.
Check it out. This thing is absolutely filthy. So, what was that?
How it is.
So we could either bust out the power washer and flood my garage because it's too cold out, or we can sit here and hope that it scrubs off. Who wants to get dirty? Come on. Look at this is brake clean.
Oh, dude, you're good. Yeah, give yourself like another hour.
Oh, yeah, 40 bucks.
Alright, so after literally 2 hours of scrubbing, this is as clean as I got it. Most of the road grime is off, which is awesome. Now you gotta be careful. I know I'm using brake clean. Wax and grease remover, I tried it. It just wasn't strong enough. This stuff is gross. But you gotta be careful because the brake clean can actually soften up the paint that is on here. And if it becomes soft, then you really can't just like paint over it. You're gonna have to like fully remove it. Luckily, this stuff isn't harsh enough that it didn't soften up any of the existing paint or anything, so we're good to go. So next step of this is we have to grind down all the nubs right here from all the holes that I filled in the body. And of course, all these random brackets, like the stuff that used to hold the ABS wire, since I deleted it, I no longer need it, so we can cut and grind those off, and we'll be good to go. You wanna try the chip, Donald? Heard you call it out.
You guys are afraid of a little chip, like you're bugging.
You wanna do this?
The chip?
Yeah.
The chip.
You're calling it out right now, mid-video.
I'll eat the chip.
You'll eat the chip.
I'll eat the chip.
Get him the chip, Mike.
Wow, where's the chip?
It's in the box over there. I honestly don't want to see you do this.
Why?
I care too much about you.
You guys make it sound like it's way worse.
This is completely worth disrupting the whole entire video for. So this, we got this from a subscriber, the one chip challenge.
The Reaper's waiting for you, Donald.
You guys are unreal.
Are you gonna eat it?
Yeah, I'll eat it.
All right.
I hate spicy stuff, but it's a chip. How bad could it be?
It's a chip. How bad can it be? He said. You're gonna back out?
Scared now, huh?
Well, you guys are making it sound so bad. So not I was gonna eat it before, but now you guys are saying like, what if I eat like a half of it?
That's fine. You don't have to eat the whole chip. Take a bite. Show him.
It doesn't even smell that bad.
Bigger. There you go. Come on, you eat it fast, so it's gonna hurt more.
It's not even bad.
It says in the package, just wait.
I'm waiting. Get me the water, Mike.
you should do.
It feels like my mouth is on fire.
That's what it says on the package.
I need fresh air. I think water makes it worse. Water break.
Yeah, I'll get you another one. Give me that.
That was a stupid idea.
Do you regret it now?
A little bit.
Yeah.
My nose is running. My mouth is on fire. I shouldn't have swallowed it. And I quote, "It's just a chip."
I actually feel really bad. He's starting to freak out.
I feel a lot of bad, yeah.
Is it getting worse?
I want to die. I need water. Mike!
I'm gonna go buy DJ some milk. I'll be right back.
I will keep him, hydrated.
DJ, I think you might need a whole gallon. I got whole milk, so
It's all milk, baby.
He said he's gonna have to do that. He's gonna have to rinse.
Is it really that bad?
He said it's unreal. Take a bite of the chip, dude.
No, I told you I would never do it.
Do you think I'm making this up?
Well, look at the packaging.
It's literally a coffin.
I think this reaction is exactly what the packaging called for.
It even says, like, we warned you.
What baffles me is it's still going.
Like, it hasn't got any left.
Consistently.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry, dude. And there we go. That's it. That's all we had to do. Nice and quick. Now here's a good example of what could have happened if we painted first. See how it kind of heated up the metal and burnt it a little bit? If it was painted, it would have just ruined the paint. Obviously, if it was painted, you could have taken your time grinding the metal and not have done that. But if I did this after it was painted, I would probably cry. So, what's up, B?
What's up, man? Hey, you know what could be you know what could be potentially even worse than that? See how it just heated up this tiny spot? Mm-hmm. Now imagine if we did our Bondo like all the way to this area, and it just heated up that one area. It would separate the Bondo from the metal there.
Oh my god.
But not probably everywhere else. So eventually that one spot would rust.
That's terrifying.
Flake off. Like.
Next step is to Scotch-Brite all of this, right, B?
Yeah, and honestly, like for something like this, especially where you got all this road guy, I know you already cleaned it once, but I would like wet Scotch-Brite it with glass cleaner.
Really?
Soak it with glass cleaner and Scotch-Brite the crap out of it.
Scotch-Brite mainly, honestly, more than cleaning, is to give a more textured surface for the paint to adhere better to.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you want to put your little scuffs in the paint because, you know, paint is a chemical, but it also needs what they call a mechanical adhesion. It needs something to grip onto, and those scuffs, those micro scratches,
Gives it more
abrasions,
surface area.
That's the mechanical adhesion, right? It increases the surface area. You ready for this? Going double whammy action.
If you guys get lazy and don't do this step, you might have issues with everything sticking, so just suck it up and do it.
That technique.
All right, well, that worked really well.
Yes, sir. You need a little bit of, soap with some agitation.
Oh, not bad. All right, so it's all prepped, cleaned up, ready to go. Now it's time to lay down some chemicals.
And first, tape.
Yeah, we gotta make sure we don't get those chemicals on things we don't want them to be on.
Dude, this stuff gets everywhere.
All right, check it out. It might look a little OD, but this stuff oversprays like crazy, and it wasn't much more work to cover the rest of the car. So
Yeah, and we're still gonna honestly be careful when we spray it.
we just can't spray the underbody just yet. We actually have to seal up basically all the bare metal, because if you just spray over it, there's a really high chance that it'll still rust.
Yeah, for sure. It will. If you just leave bare metal and spray this right over it, or spray any underbody right over it, it's gonna rust.
That's what self-etching primer's for. Etches right into the bare metal.
Yeah. There's other primers that are like direct metal capable, but it's always good to have some sort of like peace of mind when it comes to this sort of thing.
And this stuff you can just spray on like super light. It doesn't be crazy.
Yeah. Just want to cover the bare metal. Missed the spot. All right, I think that's it. Now we just gotta let this flash, and then we're gonna hit like all the spots that Jimmy welded the hole shut to shave the engine bay. We're gonna hit all those with some 1K seam sealer in a second. While these guys keep fooling around, I'm gonna put some seam sealer on the back of these welds.
All right, so I love this part. So we're using seam sealer to cover up all the ugly.
Well, this is what the factory does here. Really, the seam sealer isn't to cover up the ugly, it's to prevent any moisture from getting in any holes or crevices later on. But it's kind of a dual purpose, right? Oh.
Yeah, it looks factory. It does look pretty like factory-ish when you just smear it in like BMW does.
You could even give it some texture. Like
oh, there you go. That's it. Little Bob Ross action.
Little clouds of urethane seam sealer will make everyone happy.
Well, this is way tackier than it looks. So for this, the factory uses a nice brush technique. The rest of it is all dabbing. Here we go. A little bit up there. There we go.
I put a bunch over here where there used to be seam sealer.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh, there we go.
And once we cover up with more texture, we'll blend it right in.
Nice and thick, just like the factory. It's the small details that
Here,
matter.
you got one there and there and there.
Yeah, I'm working on it, kid. All right, so it's been like 15 minutes. We got a pink booth going on around here. So it's now time to spray the underbody itself. There is 1.5 million different brands for underbodies, or some people use bed liners, which is really aggressive stuff. But for me, we have this stuff local, Transtar, and it's always done me really, really well. So this stuff just sprays honestly insane. So gotta be careful, but what we're gonna try to match is we're gonna try and match the factory kind of spray here. So if you look, it's like heavy everywhere else, and they kind of just fade it on the outside. So instead of trying to cover the whole thing, I'm gonna attempt to make it look like this. Keyword attempt.
You got this. We're only halfway done.
All right, check it out.
It's already dry.
It looks so good.
Here, look at it up there.
Pull it through. The best part. There we go. Love that. Guys, we actually have to still paint this piece probably from here over, because you could see that in the engine bay. So that'll be nice and normal looking, but this looks awesome. I know it's just like some underbody, but honestly, this is the first piece of the chassis that is getting like improved. So it's like awesome to see the first step, because it's only uphill from here. I mean, this car has always been super grimy.
I mean, on top of that, like, you could see how much we had to matte. I mean, could you imagine getting this overspray on your fresh paint job?
Done.
You'd be so upset.
Yeah, so now when we spray the engine bay, it's like the front end is just whew, real good. All right, so after a few hours, it's basically fully cured. We have it fully demasked, and all the tedious work has really paid off. Look how amazing this looks. Obviously, the rest of the car is kind of in shambles, so it doesn't really do it for you, but honestly, just this little touch makes me feel so much better about the car.
Now, it's time to bring this to Brian's shop, finish up the sanding, do some Bondo, primer it, paint it, and then we're good to go with the drivetrain. And yeah, so this is awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys now understand
How to properly underbody your car.
and get it looking brand new. So, if you guys know the deal, like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for more content, and we'll see you tomorrow.
I'm cold-hearted and broke, I cold-started and choke. I grow part with my soul, the vote harder to grow. I know why, hey, I know why, hey, yeah. I'm cold-hearted and broke, I cold-started and choke. I grow part with my soul, the vote harder to grow. I know why.